Let's talk about assumptions. Hi everybody, PJ here. And today I wanna talk about what assumptions are and why people get involved in it. Well, assumptions are expectations of people, um, perspectives of people that you view before you engage in any interaction. You know, assumptions are natural. Are those little intrusive thoughts that tells you stories of people you don't know. You're always taking a gamble with these assumptions. Some can be valid and might save you a lot, but others can damage if your judgment is wrong. Just like the old saying goes, judge a book by its cover. That just to keep it a buck, I used to presume that assumptions were inherently evil. It's not right judging a book by its cover, as the old saying goes, but I think in some cases it's completely justified, especially when it comes to your protection, because you don't really know what to expect from some people outside. This goes for both men and women. Especially since assumptions were made to protect other people. It's a defense mechanism, basically, to know what to expect from somebody, if they have your interest at heart or if they're gonna antagonize you. But the problem with assumptions is that it's surface level. Some people catch on to this and are aware that they are being built as assumptions around their characteristics, and they can take advantage of that. Sometimes we assume the best of people when they're the worst people to be around. And other times it's the reverse, where some people can actually help us, but then we expect the worst from them out of fear and out of hurt. And it's just chaotic to give this standards to certain types of people based on standards that we set upon our own society. It's a lot of complications that comes with it, because in a sense it's understandable where people are coming from, especially when it comes to their background and how they ended up in the situation that they are in. Some people got hurt and have built up walls for themselves just to protect themselves. For example, in some cases I'd say that if you had trouble with a person, right? Let's call this person Mike. You had a good time with Mike, but then they backstab you. You remember Mike's distinct characteristics. The way he walks, the way he talks, the way he moves himself. After Mike hits you, right? Whoever has the same name as Mike, or whoever has the same personality or the same traits as Mike, will usually give you this weird PTSD. So already you have a negative impression of that person because of that very assumption. That's what an assumption is in some cases. Okay, in some cases, which can be negative. In some cases, I think it's important to get some to get a bit of healing, especially in those cases, because a lot of people really run the risk of having self-fulfilling prophecies and potential failures that they might have due to this bad interactions with people. And it's not only just people, because anything actually, if there's a bad or positive connotation to it, you're gonna build an assumption around that thing. Okay, if a girl, let's say Charmaine, right? Charmaine is a girl, right? She usually has blue hair and shit. You interacted with her, but she did something to you. From now on, you gotta have some cool perspective on people with a specific hair color, and it's not fair to them because not everybody is the same. The thing about assumptions, the negative aspect, the major negative aspect of assumptions is while you kind of narrow down people, you kind of put people in boxes, right? Your trust is so wrought of individuals that you put them in individual boxes and can sometimes act in irrational ways, in a way that's negative for no reason. Because I get it that in some cases people can have the same personality sometimes, and they can have red flags that kind of hint at people out there. That's true. For both men and women, again, there are some deranged people out there, and it's perfectly understandable that you can be more reserved. You're dealing with a lot of hardship. You're dealing with past pains, and it seems like things are flashing back again. It's perfectly understandable for people to react the way they do, especially with strangers, especially if they were hurt previously before. But like, it can be unhealthy if one person, right, is always looking towards the back all the time. Especially with people that is not worth it. Because in cases, yes, especially when the assumptions are obvious, where it's just an obvious red flag. I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying that people should be naive to certain characteristics. Okay, now don't excuse that. Don't excuse naivety. Like, no, never be naive, especially coming from people from different backgrounds that have different types of capabilities, especially when they're strangers. Alright, these people don't owe you anything. Alright, at the end of the day, you don't owe anything to anybody, and people don't owe anything to you, especially when they're strangers to you. So you need to keep that in mind. Alright, so the assumptions are warranted to a case, okay? And sometimes you gotta play by the rules. It's just how it is, okay? This has been I believe it's been a defense mechanism for years. This has been a defense mechanism for us, to keep us safe, to check who is the right people to be around with. They fit of our beliefs, they fit of our standards. We come up with these things because we've seen problems happen, and it's basically built as a defense mechanism. So in a sense, I get where it's coming from, because in some cases they're proven right, and they seem valid at the case, even though it's not 100% of the time. Why take the risk? Why take the risk? There is an element of that I understand, especially when we're talking about the level of patience that some people have. Not everybody has the same patience as everybody. Okay? Some people are not. Okay, some people will judge you from the point blank. One mistake that you do from some people is enough for them to break off completely from you. Right? So it's a complex